Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Agumur Saling. I'm from PBC class, and in this video, I would like to explain my answers about transactional speaking of discourse analysis. Okay, so without further ado, I will just start with the question number one. Okay, so what is transactional speaking? So transactional speaking is a type of communication that focuses on exchanging information clearly and effectively. According to Jack Richards, transactional speaking aims to deliver messages accurately rather than build social relationships. And in transactional speaking, speakers usually ask and answer questions, explain ideas, give opinions, solve problems, or clarify information. So the main focus is understanding the message clearly. This type of speaking is commonly found in discussions, debates, interviews, meetings, and classroom interactions. For example, in a debate, participants exchange arguments and respond to different opinions. And in classroom discussions, students ask questions and they explain ideas to understand a topic better. So transactional speaking also requires active participations. The speaker also asks. The speaker also often use strategies such as asking for clarification, agreeing or disagreeing, repeating important points, and giving explanations. In this communication, successful understanding is usually more important than perfect grammar. In conclusion, transactional speaking is spoken interaction that emphasizes exchanging information and achieving clear understanding between speakers. Okay, we move to the next question about the advantages of doing discourse analysis for transactional speaking. Okay, so my answer is that discourse analysis is useful in transactional speaking because it helps people understand how communication works in conversations and discussions. One advantage is that discourse analysis helps identify communication patterns such as initiation, response, and follow-up. This helps students and researchers understand how speakers interact during discussions or debates. Another advantage is that it helps identify the functions of language in communication, such as asking questions, giving information, agreeing, disagreeing, clarifying ideas, or persuading others. Discourse analysis also helps teachers provide authentic examples of English communication, so that students can learn more natural ways of speaking and improve their speaking ability. In addition, discourse analysis helps learners understand how transactional speaking is organized, including how topics are introduced and how speakers respond to arguments. This can improve students' performance in discussions, debates, and presentations. And finally, discourse analysis encourages critical thinking because students learn how speakers build arguments and how they express opinions effectively. And then it helps them understand communication patterns, language functions, and natural language cues in transactional speaking context. Okay, we move to the next question about the several important features of transactional speaking according to Jack Richards. Okay, so the first is it functions to exchange information. So transactional speaking is mainly used to exchange ideas, facts, opinions, or information between speakers. The focus is not on social relationships, but on delivering message clearly. For example, in a debate, so the candidates exchange opinions about political issues or another topics they discuss at the time. And then the second, there is message oriented. So the most important aspect is understanding the meaning of the message. So speakers try to communicate ideas clearly and accurately so the listeners can understand them. And then the third is participants use strategies to understand each other. So speakers often use communication strategies to maintain understanding. These strategies include repetition, clarification, uh, paraphrasing, confirmation, and explanations. And then the fourth, it needs more questions, repetitions, and comprehension checks. So transactional speaking frequently involves asking questions and checking understandings. For example, like, can you explain that again? Can you understand my point? Or what do you mean by that? These expressions help speakers ensure successful communications. And the fifth, negotiation of ideas normally occurs. So participants usually exchange different opinions and negotiate meaning during the interaction. For example, we take in a debate again. So one participant disagrees and then he gives another argument to defend their opinion. And the sixth is language accuracy is not always important. Because in transactional speaking, successful communication is more important than perfect grammar. Speakers may make grammatical mistakes, but communication can still succeed if the meaning is clear. For example, a speaker may use imperfect grammar but still communicate ideas effectively during discussions. Okay, we move to the next question about identifying the discourse patterns in the debate script. Okay, so after I read the debate scripts, I found like discourse patterns like initiation, response, follow up. There is also initiation, response, and then the moderator usually begins with initiation by introducing the topic or asking questions, and then the candidates respond with arguments or explanations. Sometimes the moderator gives a follow-up question such as thanking the speaker, thanking the speaker, and then he moved to the next speaker. Okay, next question about the generic structure. So the first is opening, of course, to use to greet the audience, and then introducing. So the host introducing the candidates, and there's also structuring debates. They explain debate procedure, rules, topic, and time allocation. And there is welcoming to the participants. And then there is introducing topic, presenting about the issue that they discussed at the time. And there is 6 inviting arguments. And then there is overviewing topic, setting solutions, giving recommendations or giving suggestions, and also expressing gratitude. Okay, so they thanking participants before continuing the debate. Okay, next, identifying the move or functions. So the first is, of course, greetings. When the Chris Wallace says good evening to the audience at the beginning of the debate. And there is also introducing. So Chris Wallace introduced himself, the candidates, and the debate sponsors. And third, stating intentions. Chris Wallace explained the purpose and organization of the presidential debate. And fourth, explaining rules. And then fifth, there is requesting attentions. And then the sixth, there is asking questions. So the host asked Trump and Biden about the Supreme Court issue, and there is giving informations. So Donald Trump and Joe Biden provide explanation and political informations, and there is giving arguments. And then there is clarifying, supporting opinions. So they support each other's opinions, and then there is persuading. So each candidate convinced the audience about their opinion. And then there is also comparing. So for example, like in the dialogue in the dialogue, Trump compares Republican and Democratic actions regarding Supreme Court nominations. And of course, there's agreeing. For example, Trump briefly agrees with Biden, and then there is also disagreeing. For example, Biden disagrees with Trump's decision to appoint the nominee before the elections. And there is giving recommendations, and the last is expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude. For example, when Trump said thank you very much, and also Biden also say thank you for doing this. Okay, so there is one more questions that I will explain about the findings from the analysis. Okay, so the debate script shows transactional speaking because the participants focus on exchanging information. They also defending opinions and persuading the audience. The moderator controls the discussion by introducing topics, asking questions, and selecting speakers. The discourse pattern mostly followed the IRF structure. Chris Wallace initiated the interaction, Trump or Biden responds, and Chris Wallace again gives follow-up comments before moving to another speaker. The debate also contains several transactional speaking features like exchange of information, negotiation of ideas, argumentation, and clarification and persuasions. And the candidates use many speaking functions such as explaining opinions, supporting arguments, disagreeing with opponents, and giving solutions to national issues. The generic structures help organize the debate systematically, and then the opening introduces the debate, the middle section focuses on argument exchange, and follow-up moves help maintain the flow of communications. Okay, maybe that's all for my explanation. Even though there is still one more something in the question about the classification of my analysis, but since I already explained earlier about my analysis of the debate script, so maybe that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.